Students, so in our last class we have discussed the radial beta tran motion, and I have started from the very beginning, and then we have developed the we have defined the field index for radial beta tran motion. This field index will be valid for the axial beta tran motion also, and then we have derived the uh, Kurtz-Server equation for radial beta tran motion or for horizontal beta tran motion. So in today's class we will discuss the axial beta tran motion, or that is also known as the vertical beta tran motion. As yesterday we have discussed that when a charged particle moving in a circular path, so during the radial motion basically it's for completing one revolution, circular revolution, it makes some horizontal oscillations along the circular path. So that is known as the basically beta tran oscillation or beta tran tune. And this beta tran tune, this beta tran horizontal orbit is basically stable when this field index is basically negative in case of radial beta tran motion. So then only we can get the solution, otherwise we will not get the solution. So in today's lecture, so we will start vertical beta tran motion. Means when charged particle will move in a circular orbit, so it will make oscillations in a vertical plane rather than in a horizontal plane. So that means again it will do some oscillations in a vertical plane like that. So for that we will consider the third equation of motion. So that was d over dt gamma m z dot is equal to q ez plus r dot b theta minus r theta dot br, where ez basically that is the axial electric field, that because we have not applied any electric field, so no electric field, that is ez is equal to 0 and b theta is equal to 0 because of the azimuthal symmetry. So this third equation of motion will become d over dt gamma m z dot is equal to minus q r theta dot br. So this equation, for this we will define the velocity vector, that is r theta dot, that is basically angular velocity, and this z dot, that is the actual velocity of the charged particle. So here z dot is less than r theta dot, so that means gamma is constant, that means gamma dot is equal to 0. So r theta dot will define that is equal to the velocity v, and for electron we know that q is equal to minus q. So substituting all these value in third equation of motion in this equation, so we'll get gamma m z double dot is equal to plus q v br, where br is the radial magnetic field. So if you do the Taylor series expansion of the radial magnetic field, so we'll get br is equal to, that is br0 plus del br upon del z plus z square upon factorial 2 del square br del z square plus higher order term. So here this brrz is equal to br0z I have written, where this br0z, this term br0z is equal to 0. So this first term is equal to 0. So that is why I have written in a small circle this term. So br is equal to this first term was equal to 0. So this del br upon del z dot z, it will start from here, and we know that for the case of magnetic field del cross b, that is equal to 0 because there is no space charge, so this space current, so this j is equal to 0, so del cross b is equal to 0. So if you find out this del cross b, so we will get that del cross del br upon del z will be equal to del bz upon del r. So in place of writing del br, we can write bz. So therefore we can write this br is equal to, so we are considering only the first term of the Taylor series expansion, so only this term, higher order term can be neglected. So we have considered, so we can write br is equal to del br upon del z into z. In place of br we can write del br upon del z, in place of del br upon del z we can write del bz upon del r. So that is why I have written br is equal to del bz upon del r into z. Okay. So this equation of motion gamma m z dot is equal to plus q v del bz upon r z, or z dot is equal to q v gamma m del bz upon del r into z. So if we will solve this equation, so this equation will become something like this equation. So here I have here in order to do that I have multiplied b0 divided by b0 r0 and r0. So same equation becomes equation does not change. So we'll define the again field index. The field index we have defined, that is r0 upon b0 del bz upon del r. So we can write this third equation of motion, that will becomes minus q b0 gamma m v upon r0 n, where n is the field index, into z. So this is the third equation of motion. So we know from the for the stable orbit, this from Lorentz force, so that is q v b0 is equal to gamma m v square upon r0. So we substitute, then third equation of motion will become gamma m upon gamma m v square upon r0 square nz. So gamma m and gamma m will be cancelled out. So here this is cancelled out. So z dot is equal to minus v square upon r square nz. And we'll define that we have already defined, that is cyclotron frequency, that is v square upon r0 square equal to omega c square. So that is cyclotron frequency. So this third equation of motion will become z double dot plus omega c square nz is equal to 0. So this equations this equation is known as the third equation, Kirch-Scherber equation in terms of time coordinate. So here z double dot is equal to we'll define another quantity, that is omega z square z plus 0. So that is again Kirch-Scherber equation for axial betatron motion, where omega z square is equal to n omega c square, or omega z is equal to under root n into omega c. So this omega z is known as the axial betatron frequency. So or this may also be written in terms of trajectory equation of motion. So we know that how we can change the trajectory equation of motion, that z double prime can be written at del square z del s square, or this del square we can be changed in terms of time. So that can be written as 1 over r square r0 square omega c square z double dot. So z double dot will be equal to, here I have changed. So this z double dot will be equal to r0 square omega c square into z double prime. So we can substitute. So we can write this equation will become, that is z double prime plus k z square z equal to 0. So we'll define another quantity, that is kz is equal to 2 pi lambda z or nu z upon r0 or under root n upon r0. So this quantity, this kz is known as the axial betatron wave number, where this nu z is equal to under root n, or this nu z is equal to under root n. So this is known as the betatron frequency. So nu z is equal to omega z upon c, or nu z equal to under root n omega c upon omega c, that is under root n. So thus to get focusing in axial direction, that this Kirch-Scherber equation have a periodic solution in z, we must have this n should be positive. Remember here, this n should, if n will be positive, then only we can get the solution of this equation or solution of this equation. But in case of if you remember, go back, in case of radial betatron motion, for that this n should be negative. Here this n should be negative, and for the present case, for the axial betatron motion, this n should be positive. Okay, so if you compare for the let us say charged particle is moving in a circular orbit, so there both charged particle can make a radial oscillation and it can make a axial oscillation. It means it can make a horizontal oscillation as well as a vertical oscillation. So if we combine both Kirch-Scherber equation for radial betatron motion and for axial betatron motion, then orbit stability in both radial and axial direction imposes the requirement condition, that is n should lie between the 0 to n. It means for stable orbit. So this is very important condition. This always the value of n, that field index, should be between positive, this should be greater than 0 and less than 1. So stability condition implies that bzr must be decreasing function of radius r. So that is del bz upon del r should be less than 0, that it should be negative. However, the gradient may not be greater than the allowed by the n is equal to a limit, or else there is no focusing. So in a special case, I have given an example. In a special case, if n equal to 0.5, then the focusing strength is the same in both directions. That means at that time, if field index is 0.5, then this nu r is equal to nu z. That means radial betatron frequency and axial betatron frequency becomes equal. If we plot the field index versus this frequency, so here I have plotted the field index on x-axis and this y-axis, that is the radial, axial and radial betatron frequency. So we see here that for stable orbit, n should be between the 0 to 1. When your field index is between the 0 to n, So then orbit is stable. And we are moving from n is greater than 1. This obviously when n is greater than 1, this orbit will be radially unstable. When n will be less than 0, then obviously orbit will be unstable axially. So that means anyhow, if you want to focus the charged particle motion in a circular orbit, we have to design magnetic field in such a way that the field index always should lie between 0 to 1. If it is exceeding, n is exceeding greater than 1, so maybe it may be axially stable. If n is greater than 1, it may be axially uh, uh, stable, but it is not radially stable. But if n is greater than 1, it may be stable, similarly vice versa. So that is why this is known as the beta tune versus the field index. So this here I have finished the this beam transport through the in circular accelerator. So if you revise the syllabus, I have started beam in this third unit. So I have started from the equation of motion, then I have derived paraxial ray equations, then in different electrostatic Lenzon paraxial ray equation, and then I have defined bipotential, unipotential, means Einstein lens, emergent lens, aperture lenses. These lenses I have derived. Then we have gone to the focusing by quadrupole lenses, because this axial symmetric focusing was weak, so we required quadrupole focusing. So that was transfer matrix we have derived for the electrostatic quadrupole magnet and magnetic quadrupole magnet, quadrupole focusing. And then that was the focusing in a linear accelerator. Then we have started the charged particle focusing, a beam focusing in a circular accelerator. So in circular accelerator there are two type of motion, means when charged particle is making a revolution, completing one path, it can oscillate in a radial or axial direction. So that is known as the beta turn frequency. And then we have derived Kirchhoff equation for radial and axial beta tran motion. So this was the third unit. I hope you understood the whole topic. So now onwards we will start the fourth unit, where in which the applications of accelerator will be done. So I will teach the I am preparing the lecture. So I will soon I will send a hard copy of the lecture, that is application of accelerator. So I hope you are enjoying my lectures. So keep studying at home. At least you study 6 to 7 hours at home, then you can understand any topic. If you have any problem or any comment, you can write your comment in my YouTube channel, or you can write personally on my WhatsApp. So this lecture I will upload on YouTube, as well as I will send in a WhatsApp also, because some students are complaining that in YouTube the resolution is not good. Whatever I am this doing, that is basically from my mobile. So there I don't have any other app to record my lectures, so that is why I am recording from mobile app. So that is very easy. So I am doing my best from my side. I hope you are also doing your best. So stay at home, stay safe. Thanking you very much for listening me.